Welcome to ChrisKonkleVlogs live stream every Sunday morning where we discuss different technology that'll be coming into construction.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Today is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everyone out there. Sitting on my Father's Day present right now. You can see the Cougar armor chair. And my kids behind me here, they built me a concrete wall for live streaming, so that's pretty cool, eh? They watch some of my videos and learn how to do concrete. Just kidding. It's just a backdrop. But it's part of my my Father's Day present. So I got a nice stand and backdrop and this beautiful chair. I don't know, my old chair was kind of funny. It was like ripped and old and I had it for a long time and I wore the ass out of it. Okay, anyways, guys, so today we're talking about 3D printing and in construction and how it's going to revolutionize our industry. It's incredible. You know, I touched base on this in one of my first streams when we're talking about different trends in construction. But I wanted to dig deeper into it because it is going to be the number one thing that will influence our industry, right? With BIM and 3D printing and the drones for, you know, that can actually scan sites and produce live actual measurements and as-built type drawings. It's going to be incredible, right? So, I had... So as we go into 2019 and happy Father's Day, Dan. Good to see you down there. I've been doing the live stream for a few weeks now and just getting kind of warmed up into it. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Okay, so as you guys know, I pick out websites here just to go. It's hard to kind of sort through the mess of a Google search sometimes, so what I do is I pick out all the coolest websites that I can find on a certain subject and just bring you, the links are all down in the description so you can check them out as we go or in the replay. But 3D printing. Now, what you guys understand of 3D printing is the finishes haven't been perfect, right? They have, you can tell that there's like ripples and stuff in the finish. So they're changing that. The technology is crazy. So the AEC industry, right, architect, engineering, construction, is changing very, very quickly with BIM, and the building side of it is probably going to go a lot more towards like a fabrication way of doing things. So these guys are printing some crazy stuff. So you can see, yeah, here we go. Check this out here. Dubai. So this is in Dubai. Submit a patent related to additive manufacturing founded in 2016. The company was also UAE's privately owned company to specialize in AM technologies. The recently filed patent is for a proprietary method developed by MS. So we know that China has printed 3D houses, but the quality of them has been questionable, right? And the method was questionable. So it's not a confirmed wasn't a confirmed build. So everyone's racing now to be the first person to print an entire house. As far as I know, there's researchers in Southern California who are probably the closest at doing this. The industry is huge. So the art that they're experimenting with is incredible. Construction is complicated because it's very error prone. Like there's a lot of problems that arise. It's a very long planning process, and a lot of mistakes are made, in the field, right? As we're building, a lot of things happen. So, the 3D printer, and not to mention the labor shortage, right? It's huge. So things like this are gonna pick up that slack, right? You can see here, this is what I was talking about at first, the rippling type of finish that they leave at the present moment. To me, it doesn't look that great. So let's see here. NASA actually, you'll see in the next page, they're huge. They're invested in 3D printing, huge, because obviously you can only fit so much in a rocket ship to get it onto onto the moon or Mars. Actually, this is where they are experimenting, is on Mars. So these rover printer type things can actually I'm going to save that. We're going to talk about that in the next page. But look at the walls, right? The curved. We have a really hard time building curved walls. They're extremely expensive right now, and very hard to do. So with 3D printing, it's simple. It's easy, right? So the only actual live 3D printing that I have seen is in like designers, engineer designers who design things like tools and parts and stuff like that. They 3D print them for prototypes to show their clients what the final product could look like, right? That's what I've seen, which is really cool. They're really neat. There's a guy in Edmonton here who actually builds 3D printers. Beauty of 3D printing with Tues mobile hits in Milan. But yeah, look at these, right? Like, these are concepts, but it's just, a lot of places, like especially with China, this is going to be great because they don't build overly huge houses and space is very limited. So, first multi-printed 3 public housing, yeah. So, see this right here? This is a bridge. This is a bridge. It's amazing. There's an actual, you're going to see it, printer that can print a bridge, like self-drive itself across a canyon or across a canal or whatever. It's incredible. It's incredible. But you look at the design thing. The architecture is going to change, right? Like, you can tell now how much it's been changing when you look around and you see the different types of cladding and angles and all this crazy architecture stuff, right? So now with the curves, the round 3D printing, things are going to get a lot more rounder, right? You're going to see a lot more curving. We generally don't see a lot of that right now. So here we go. Actually, this bridge right here, this is a photo slide. I didn't see it when we first passed it, but there was a bridge there. Let's get over to this page where it shows, this is amazing. So this is a house on in a factory, on an assembly line type of thing, right? This is a drivable crane, and it's printing an entire house. The one thing they can't do yet is print the wires and cables and ductwork into the walls, but that is going to change very soon. That is what we're waiting for. As soon as these things can start printing the wires and the ductwork in the walls, it's a go, right? You guys know construction is always the last industry to adopt new technology. It waits till it's been fully tested and until it's fully operational and tested. Nobody spends needless money in construction, so they're waiting for it to be fully developed. But yeah, so how 3D printing can revolutionize the industry. I don't even have to say it. Like, it takes a lot of guys and a lot of time to put this to put this house together as it is, right? This one printer, what it would do here is more than one trade, right? You're gonna have your concrete guys who do your grade beams and your foundations. You have carpenters who frame the walls. You have drywallers who drywall it and insulators who insulate it. There's all these trades that are, who in a house actually come one after another. But just think about that. Now this printer is going to do all of the steps, right, from beginning to end, all at once. So the speed, the amount of time it'll take is incredible, right? It's going to be so much faster. So like we were talking about economical, ecological, and elaborate designs, right? So we were just talking about some of that. This is a printer that prints rocks, or prints with rocks, and what it does is it layers the design with string, and here, let me give you a quick show here. I don't want to. This video is a little slow, but if I can get to it. So these guys. So this is this guy, right? This printer. So you see this string here. So this string is what holds the rocks into place, right? So now they're gonna pour rock. Okay, so they're gonna layer it, put this, string in it, and look at this design. Look at this final product, right? It's with rocks, just loose rocks. There's nothing holding them together. It's just the string and loose rock. Isn't that incredible? So what that implies to me, what's cool about that is we can use virtually any type of recycled product and make it into something soluble and reuse it in construction, right? That's huge. That is so huge. We as humans, we generate a lot of waste in a lot of areas. So the recycling implications for this technology is incredible, right? It's incredible. He's gonna reel the string back now. See how he's reeling the string in, and it just all falls down. Right? So that's taking it apart. I've seen it put together. Take it apart just as easy, right? See, they're pulling the string, and the rocks pull out. Isn't that incredible? Absolutely incredible. If you could have a concrete plant on site on your, that's crazy. I'm pretty. I can't believe it still has a concrete truck. So these trucks will be lined up, and they'll be pumped out. Looks like this is the pump, yeah. So that's crazy. This is Winsun, a Chinese construction company, claims to have printed 10 3D homes in just 24 hours. So one of my earlier Facebook posts was this company, Winsun, who printed 10 houses within 24 hours. Now, they're not overly huge houses, but they're single family homes, right? Like half the size of a normal bungalow, probably 500 square foot home type thing. So, this is crazy, right? Like, space, the final frontier. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about with NASA is investing huge into 3D printing. This industry is over $13 billion this year. 2018, 3D printing is already a $13.8 billion industry, right? That's gonna in the next few years, that'll probably double, triple, okay? Because this is what we need. This is what we've needed for a very long time. So check this out. This little guy here is printing the solar base, like the lunar base, we'll call it, right? And what it's doing is, where's the material come from, right? See this thing right here? This is a filter that is intaking particles, right? So atmospheric particles. Using those particles as the material to print the walls. crazy, right? It's crazy, right? So they don't need to jam pack a rocket full of building materials, right? They just take the materials from the planet that they're on and use them to print, right? It's incredible. It's amazing. It's like, when are we gonna move up to the stars, right? Like, when are we actually gonna have when are we gonna occupy other planets? That's what I want to know. That's something I hope I see in my lifetime. That's for sure. I've always been looking up to the stars. I love it's still, look at this. This is incredible, right? When I was a kid, if this would be all science fiction to me. So, will 3D printing remodel the construction industry? Yes, of course it will. Of course it will, right? So, the construction industry's adoption of 3D printing has been hitting the headlines. The Economist announced in its understated way in June 2017, 3D printing and clever computers. So that is business information or building information modeling technology, like SketchUp and AutoCAD programs that use drones to fly around and do the as-built, scan the sites and give the computers the as-built drawings and dimensions, so that it then can signify these printers to start fabricating components, right? So reduces management and coordinating labor, time, and material, right? All of these things, right? It's incredible. So it should hopefully drive the costs of building way down. Hopefully it should, but that all depends on how expensive the technology is, right? But it shouldn't be too expensive. I have another page coming up that will show you I think it's the top 16 companies who are, the top 16 printers, right? So eventually 3D printing will become a common or even standard feature in the fabrication process, right? Of course, that's, like I said, I'm not going to read all these websites. I find these websites for you guys to, I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to bring you the information on the subject, right? So I'm really good at researching and finding information. So it's just another thing I'm trying to share with you while I'm doing all these live streams with no one to talk to. Except for Dan might still be there, but I really appreciate him checking in. That's so cool. Yeah, I love watching the Dan's live stream every Wednesday. So, I'll watch him and I getting better, with mine. So I just gotta master this OBS software. It's always giving me a bit of a hard time, but I think I'm getting it. I think I've gotten it. So I just need to start making my stream look a little nicer now. So, okay, so 3D printing is a natural fit with construction. Absolutely. I would never argue that. It's not just a natural fit, it's a necessary fit, right? It has to be there. We need it. We absolutely need it. You guys know, like, I worked really hard. I did a lot of piecework, right? And as a drywaller and a heavy gauge steel stud framer, there was over a year. There's about it was over 3 years. So it was between 3 and 4 years where I was recovering and trying to just rehabilitate from loss of use of my hands, right? I absolutely could not use my hands, and for almost a year solid too. I literally was gimped. Like, I could not use them, and that's just from repetitive motion and just always screwing into heavy gauge and lifting your drywall, and then of course all the sports I played in the past and all that stuff. It all added up. So it's really unfortunate because I'm gonna have a horrible, when I'm old, it's gonna be horrible. I'm gonna be in constant pain. I just know it. So but anyways, I worked through it. I kept working, and I finally overcame it, and I learned to deal with it. I was taking painkillers back then, but I don't take any painkillers anymore. I just deal with it and properly handle myself, right? Like, I still work my butt off, don't get me wrong, but I'm just a lot more careful. So here we go. So rapid, let's see here. What do we got here? Accurate production based on 3D models. Yeah, generated by computer-aided design, CAD. Of course, right? So drone technology, not just the drones, because that drone is just one thing, but the camera tech that, like, think about the kind of camera it would take to scan an entire site, right? And like an average size site is going to be 500,000 square feet, and these guys are claiming to be able to scan that in, I think it was like only a few hours. That's pretty good, right? So it's amazing. It would take a team of guys a week to do all the as-builts on site. So it's crazy. So we're going to be seeing a lot of changes in construction. I've been in the industry since I was 15 years old, so that was now, what, 24 years ago? That was quick math, but anyways, it's been a long time, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, I don't think. The only thing that has changed since I started in construction is the safety programs. There's no new tech. There's nothing. The last thing to be invented would have been the leveling lasers that we use, and that was over a decade ago. But yeah, the lasers that replaced using the water type level. I think I have a level for that I never use. I use it as a straight line because I use lasers for absolutely everything. I never use a level to level anything. I use lasers, and I recommend you guys use lasers too. Levels are not trustworthy. They're not accurate. So, what do we got here? Let's get on with it here. Technological advances. So yeah, like I was saying, guys, you guys know I put the links down below so that you guys can do your own research. But it's so cool. Like 3D printing is going to be, it's huge. This is just gonna change everything. Chinese firm Winston. So here's another one. See, here's that Chinese firm Winston mentioned again, and that was 2014. That was 2014 by printing a batch of 10 complete houses. Since then, it has developed several prototype edifices and conducted bold projects such as printing a stylish office building for the Dubai Future Foundation. Wow. So Winston, founded in 2003, started out as a developer of advanced building materials. The company now has more than 125 patents in China, but many of the most innovative companies in this area are genuine startups. See, the genuine startups. So see how they don't think this Winston company is very credible, obviously. So this is now the second time that they, have kind of been burnt. So here, the Dutch startup MX3D is using this robotics and science to develop methods for printing a metal pedestrian bridge. That is cool. I did a post on that as well on my Facebook page. That bridge is amazing. So, part of the Russian company PIK has reportedly printed a modest concrete house entirely on site in 24 hours for barely $10,000. See, that's exactly what I was saying. A 70% saving over the conventional method. 70%. And is that money? That's just money, right? Yeah, of course. So what about the time, right? Well, I tell you right now, it says it printed it in 24 hours, and it takes me a week with two guys to frame a house. That's crazy, right? Yeah. Then that's not even that's nothing, right? That's no sheeting, nothing. Oh yeah, well, it's the exterior sheeting, but like the ply, like the OSB, but like an entire house, right? So in 24 hours, this is crazy. So it would take us, it takes us 5 days to frame a whole house, and that's with 3 other guys, right? So, well, 2 other guys full time, and then there's always one guy who doesn't show up, so 3 guys, we'll say. But that's amazing. That is amazing. 70% savings, right? So that's huge. Ooh, AECOM. The AECOM has a pretty prominent presence in Edmonton as well. So The big name construction companies will have to adapt to new reality whether they like it or not, and several have made the strategic decision to be early adopters of the new technology. In February 2017, France's leading construction firm Vinci bought a stake in the French startup Xtree, which specializes in printing concrete structural elements. Yeah, so political push. Yeah, definitely there's going to be a political push. As always with this tech, you guys know that when a new tech comes out that will save a lot of time and money and material and be more green like this, you guys know the government always gets in and regulates it and puts in guidelines to make it puts in policies to make it see, this is encouraging the adoption, but then they always tend to make it mandatory in some way as soon as they get their pockets into it, right? So look at this here. In the Middle East, the UAE is aiming for 25% of new buildings to be printed by 2030. Wow. Housing deficit. Yep. Yeah, they keep doing that. Annual GDP, eh? Create 15,000 jobs by 2025. So this is the one thing, right? So 3 main types, 6 main applications. All right, so let's just jump down here. You guys can come back and read this anytime. So freedom of design, don't have to say it. Things are going to get a lot more curvy, that's for sure. Autonomous construction, right? Like the like I was saying, you're not going to have to wait for the drywall to show up. You're not going to have to wait for the insulator to show up. You're not going to have to schedule them. You're not going to have to coordinate them. It's just all going to be done all at once, right? So predictability, wow, that's something I never thought of. So predictability and the speed of delivery. So that is something right now we can only estimate, right? We can try to predict it. We plan and schedule, but we always try to have one finite date, but it never is the date. From when we started, we never ever finished on the date that it was planned. Things always happen on a build, right? That pushes the schedule. So with the consistency that 3D printing will bring, right? We could literally predict, probably right from the start, on how long it'll take to do a project. That's to me is crazy. I don't even believe it. I don't believe it. That's insane. To be able to predict the speed and delivery date, right? Like, oh my god, that's huge, right? Sustainability. So construction has a huge impact on the environment, right? There's a lot of harmful, not only the materials that we use in it and the waste that's generated from the construction project, but the byproducts and the pollution caused from manufacturing the products is something, right? And then there's the transportation part. So sustainability, wow, great. Like you're gonna reduce the manufacturing of those harmful products, the waste generated from those products on site. That's really cool. See right here, so 50% 50% could be recycled material. There you go. That's the answer to a lot of problems right there, right? Using recycled material for 3D printing. And awesome. This is going to change everything, guys. It's going to change everything. Very cool. Very cool. Special properties, thanks to its mastery of topology optimization through the use of conical, hollow, or honeycomb structures, for example, 3D printing can endow its products. So, wow, look at this. So, a mainstream on-site concrete printer costs $500,000 to $2 million. So, that's what I mean. Like, depending on the price, like you'll have to print quite a few houses to get that money back. Okay, you guys, the margins are 18% on a good day, on a very good day. So that is wow, that's crazy, right? That is crazy. So those costs will obviously come down anyways when people start buying them. So the printing process, material design and engineering, regulation, procurement rules, and client skepticism. So let's read this one real quick. Sorry. The adoption of 3D printing and construction is being hampered by bureaucratic factors, slow incorporation into building codes, the imposition of arbitrary perspective standards rather than performance-based standards. Yep. And wide regional variation in regulations. I mean, in many regions, building codes make no provisions at all for 3D printed construction techniques, materials, and testing. Meanwhile, many prospective clients and tenants are underinformed and unconvinced about the safety and durability of 3D printed buildings. So, understandably, I mean, so what are the best 3D printed? What are the best house printers? Okay, well, down here is the list. I wanted to show you guys these, just a few here, just because they're pretty cool. So this guy, right, prints. It looks like a concrete type of substance. Okay, so just check this out quick. I'm gonna mute it, but you can see it. Look at the size of this. It's got a big nozzle. This, to me, there is no actual voice on this. There's music in it, but there's no voice. So that looks like it's printing like joists and rafters, right? So it's huge. Look, the nozzle is huge, right? So this Beta Abram, yeah, 40,000. So $37,429. So pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The Kaza X1. It's a little different. Look at this, babe. Look at this guy. Right? That's cool. Just want to show you that quickly. Look at this, right? So you're gonna have big ones printing structures, and you're gonna have little ones printing the finishes inside, right? Look at this thing. Looks something out of a sci-fi movie for sure. Like, but yeah, see the reach. I see. So this one you'll be able to 55% less materials. These guys will be printing it on site. So, and not in a factory. This aren't going to take away any jobs. This is going to create jobs, by the way. Nobody wants to work construction anymore anyway, it seems like. Even though like it's an industry where you make a lot of money. Trust me, I'm an educated person, and I decided to stay with construction because of all the money I make. So, anyways, what I was saying... look at this guy here, right? It's going to create a lot more jobs. So you got you have manufacturing, you got on-site, you're going to have tech, repair, all these different jobs are going to be created. They're going to create more jobs than it's going to take away or replace. I guarantee it. So what I would like to see is the one like the one that we just saw on the rover on the space type thing. As you can see, all the materials are being fed to the machine now. So once these machines can start picking up atmospheric particles and making material with them, outstanding, incredible, amazing, right? So look at that, right? And it's so tiny and compact, it'll fold up and just wheel right out, right? So Look at it go! Look at it go! Oh, look at those windows! Isn't that incredible? Like I told you, round. Things are going to be a lot more round. The rounded rooftop. Like, look at that. That is cool. That is so cool. You'll never have to re-shingle your roof again. Right? Look at it dries out. So awesome. Oh my gosh. That is really, 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 really awesome. So, you can see there's, you guys can come back. The wasp is kind of cool. And check all these out. That's why I put the links down in the description for you guys to, you know, for research purposes. So this guy here, see how it's like a loosely, right, it's on some kind of weird system here. It's all rigged up. But anyways, moving on to the next page. So you guys can come back here and check them all out after. That's why I add the links down in the description so you guys can come and check it out. This is for research purposes for you guys. There's enough resources that I put down in my streams that you guys can fully research the subject. So, but yeah. So predictions. We just went through so many predictions, but use cases for 3 predictions. So. New technologies, hardware, materials, and applications are being developed. Yeah. Anything that... Yeah, additive manufacturing, 3D printing at work. So, use... Yeah. Okay, so this is this first sentence right here. According to a new report, it suggests that the construction industry could represent as large an opportunity as the entire industrial and medical manufacturing industries combined. It will, or more. I can guarantee it. Everything is going to change. Everything. That's why I stopped doing. This is why I stopped doing how-to videos on how to do, the large commercial construction, like our safe job procedures and safe work practices. That's why I stopped doing them, because and started teaching management techniques instead. Because all of our techniques, everything's going to change. Everything's changing. The technology is rapidly evolving. Things are changing. It's just so different, right? And this is why I decided to stop. Well, I still will do how-to videos because they're still relevant, and there will be for many years to come. But I don't want to be all about that. I want to be about something more relevant, right? So management and then technology, right? Construction technology and then management techniques, because as the tech changes, our delivery methods and systems will change as well. So will the contracts, right? But as long as we get a good foundation and understanding of construction, then it'll be easier for the change, right? So here we go. So here is this page. We're going to finish off with this page today. Some projects that have been printed. So 400 square meter villa printed on site. Excuse me, in 45 days. 45 days, 400 meter. I don't know if it's a meter square. Yeah, okay, so 400 square meters is going to be about 15,000 square feet, we'll say. So 15,000 square foot villa in 45 days. So that's actually really good, I think. But yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Mini builders. So, see this guy here? That's the printer. So it's printing it like on it, right? That's crazy. This is a wholly new concept and quite possibly points the way forward for the industry. Instead of one large printer, the mini builders use an army of smaller machines that are the size of desktop printers. The biggest is just 42 centimeters, but these printers can create skyscrapers. Wow. That's right. Instead of just one, you could have a whole army of these little guys printing. Yeah. Oh my jeepers! Like this is the first time I'm seeing this too, and understanding. I'm not the first time I'm seeing this actual picture, but I kind of didn't get the chance to get up early this morning like I normally do and read everything. But I'm learning this just now live with you. So can you imagine that, all these little tiny printers printing little pieces? Oh my goodness! And then of course, if you can remember, back when the first computer came out, it was the size of a house. This is the size of the first mini mobile construction 3D printer. That's going to get a lot smaller. And wow, just think about it, guys. It's crazy the way the future. I just had like a brainstorm. Like, so you got all these little mini tiny printers, and if we could start capturing atmospheric particles, like, think about it, right? Like, the science of that. If you could print things without having materials or anything like that kind of stuff delivered, but everything just on site, like, just, I don't know, this is blowing my mind too fast, too rapidly. But that's the possibility. Wow. Printed soil, literally creating a building from the soil on site in Barcelona. So, literally groundbreaking. So this has found a way to take soil from the ground, combine it with just a few additives, and turn it into a building material with a tensile strength 3 times higher than industrial clay. Right? That's pretty neat. That is really, really neat. So right now, we have to factor in the cost of transporting filament or raw materials to the build site, the ability to turn the soil underfoot into a workable construction material changes everything. Yeah, it does. It means we can build in remote areas, and it could even mean we can populate other worlds. Oh yeah, like we were saying, right, with NASA and all that. But amazing, absolutely amazing. That this house here. I think I posted this one to Facebook too, not too long ago. But like, come on, Ray, this is so cool. Emergency accommodation, yeah, right. Shelters that can be ready to go in 30 minutes. Right? That's so awesome. Think about it, right? If we got an hour's notice that a meteorite is going to hit Earth, then all the, you know what? Like, who knows how strong that is. But it's cool, man. It doesn't have to be pretty, right? If it's strong and it's built quick, right? It's shelter, right? So hurricanes, tornadoes, meteorites crashing into the earth, and hopefully never again war. We never want to have war again but could you imagine though if it did happen and we needed emergency accommodations or something like that because of that? But think about it. All the houses that were destroyed in a hurricane or tornado can be quickly replaced with 3D printed, maybe, right? Or
what about fires?
Fires, yeah. Fires as well.
Sorry for interrupting.
So, look at this. Print stock from pollution. So, concrete, carbon dioxide emissions converted into concrete print stock. So, this is going to what? So, if I got this right, I kind of checked this out already. So, this is a novel concept. It is still in the experimental phase, but it shows just what we can achieve when we put our minds to it by capturing the emissions from power plants and turn it into a print stock. Wow. We can use to replace cement, which comes with its own environmental costs. Yeah, that's right. So if this new print stock can replace cement and power, the 3D printers of tomorrow. Okay, so hold on here. If the new print stock can replace cement and power the 3D printers of tomorrow, then it could have a seismic impact on the carbon footprint of the construction and power industries. It could then go further and help lower the net impact of manufacturing as a whole. Things are changing, right? The construction industry, here, this is what I was talking about before. The construction industry is a terribly, it pollutes, it generates a lot of waste. And like I said, when manufacturing those materials, it creates a lot, it pollutes, right? So that's why everything's going green, right? Like this is the last industry to adopt all this tech. The last real green move that the construction industry made was LEED, which is a sham anyways, right? It's a LEED. So just another cash grab, LEED, in my opinion, but it's got a good intention, but it's just not it still doesn't change how much waste we generate. So but yeah, so this guy here is printing a bridge across this little tiny stream, and it's like self-propelling and everything, right? That's a beautiful bridge. It's a beautiful bridge. What's this one here? Deezen. Oh my gosh! If you guys don't subscribe to Deezen, do it.
My name is Joris Laarman. I'm a designer and co-founder of MX3D. MX3D is a company that is working with robots and multi-axis 3D printing tools.
I don't have my earphones in, so I hope that's not going to
print
give me
the world's first functional steel bridge over a canal in Amsterdam.
a canal.
The basics of the technology is pretty simple. It's an old industrial robot that are usually used for assembly lines in the car industry, which we combined with this welding machine, and we control that with our own software to have it 3D print in metal.
That's right, that's right.
A robot is usually used to do the same movement over and over again, but with smart software we can make it do much more complicated movements. The bridge is going to be fairly small, it's a pedestrian bridge. Still then it's a huge challenge because we want to print the bridge in one go. So we want the robots to actually print their own support structure as they move over the water. The bridge is very much a learning process for us. We are trying to test all the facets of the technology to develop the software and the right type of metal that is good for printing.
Wow.
We hope to have the bridge finished by 2017. And in the end this will result in a really big library of algorithms and scripts that in the future we can use for all kinds of geometry so that it would be a fully automatic process. And after the bridge is done, I am sure that we can move into many more directions.
Yep.
I think robots will be really important for construction in the future. It's just a much more adaptive way of producing things.
Yep.
Now we can print millions of different types of objects with one machine. By printing with robots, you're not bound to the limitations in size of what usually 3D printers have. So we can theoretically print endlessly big. This is what we are able to do right now, and it's only the beginning.
Yeah, it's only the beginning. So, guys, like, this stuff is amazing, right? So, cool bricks, like, these guys are printing different types of bricks, like, everything's the same. That's what drives me nuts. When you're driving down the street and you're going to new neighborhoods, right? And I don't know, I know they're trying to change them up a bit now. They have a few different styles in the subdivisions too, but when I was a kid or back in the 90s, they were printing, or not printing, they looked like they were printing the same thing. Cookie cutter houses, what we call them, right? It was every house in the whole neighborhood looked the same. And it was awful, absolutely awful. You know, like they used the cheap ass plastic siding and just gross. Ugh, gross. And then of course brick, for the longest time, it's different colors, but it's always the same shape. So it's in the actual design that had to be different, right? Now the bricks themselves are going to be different. That's incredible. It's going to be beautiful. We really needed it. We really needed the change. Like, we need to start building things like we did pre-80s, right? Like when things were built to last. Things were more unique and I remember I love going down the older neighborhoods and every single house is different, right? I cannot stand walking into these new neighborhoods and seeing every single house looking exactly the same, right? Maybe a little differences here or there, but really they all look the same. So this is amazing, right? We're going to go back to that beautiful, you can tell, like, everything's changing in the world, right? People are starting to realize now that things, especially in the retail, have gotten out of control, right? Totally out of control. Thousands and thousands of stores are closing in the U.S. Approximately 3,000 stores will be closing in the U.S. This year. People are now buying things online, right? Of course, we know this. Probably, as we're speaking, 50% of all retail sales are online. Last year it was at 40%, so I bet you it's at 50% this year. But the wastefulness of our society, right? Like, we needed this change. Like, why does a little town of 100,000 people need 3 Walmarts? They don't, right? When I was in business, though, we studied companies like Walmart and Starbucks, and what they do is they go into an area, open up a bunch of stores, force all the little business out of business, close down, and then they close up shop and just leave one store, right? So, highly unethical, not appropriate. So, just wastefulness, pure wastefulness, right? So, but what that's not really the point here. Anyways, I got off subject there. My apologies. Back to designing your own homes, right? So everyone can kind of now just have a lot more input, right, into the design of their home. There'll be a lot more features and that you can, be. Just, it's gonna be so much better. Like just the beauty in art. Art. Whether you like art or not, it affects you, I believe, in a positive way. Good art makes us happy, right? So when we look down the street and we see all these beautiful different kinds of houses and stuff like that, and it's just beautiful. It's much better. I just, yeah. I think you guys get what I'm saying. So, all right. Well, it looks like that's that. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on in our industry. Next week, I don't know. Next week I might dig into actual more into the drones and what kind of cameras that they're using and stuff like that, maybe. But I'll find this stuff. So I hope you guys like the resources that I'm finding for you. If so, please let me know by hitting that like button. And if you want to come back and keep checking out the technology, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you'll be notified when I go live or when I upload. I upload 2 to 3 videos a week. I'll be starting. I do this live stream every Sunday morning. I'm trying to pick a second day to live stream. That'll be really soon. Probably this week I'll do a second live stream. So, yeah. So remember that. If you guys are, wanting me to research something for you, then please let me know down in the comment. Leave a comment down below, and I will research that for you. And no problem. Like I said, I'm really good at finding resources, right? So I want to help save you time by doing all the work for you, right? I want to put the time in to do all the weeding through the stuff, right? The Google search, like, it produces so many results that are irrelevant, in my opinion, in advertising. So I have other methods for searching for data. which you probably wouldn't be aware of yourself. So I can find some cool stuff. So yeah, if you do have something you want me to research for you, let me know down in the comments. I will definitely do that. This is now number 4 or 5, I think, for live stream. So like I said, I got the setup now, I got the chair, I got the backdrop, so I'm a little more comfortable in front of the camera. And wow, Dan showed up today. I'm so happy. That's pretty awesome. I really appreciate that, Dan, so thank you so much. Make sure you guys check him out over at Creator Fundamentals on YouTube and Facebook. And yeah, if you're a creator, he's a must. He's a must for all creators. Okay, guys, so this is Father's Day 2018. If you're new to ChrisKonkleVlogs, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. This is Chris, everyone. Bye for now.